Okay, let's unpack this. We have a genuinely significant development unfolding in the Web3 space, one that feels like a foundational shift, really, particularly for anyone navigating the, increasingly interconnected world of digital assets. We're talking about MetaMask, a name almost synonymous with Web3 wallets, making a truly expansive leap forward. The big news: TRON, with its native TRX token, is now natively integrated directly into MetaMask. Now, if you're thinking, is this just another chain getting added? Well, the answer is a resounding no, and here's why. This isn't merely an incremental update. This integration solidifies Trial's position as only the third major non-Ethereum chain to be directly supported within MetaMask. That's following the significant additions of Solana and BNB Smart Chain. It represents not just a practical benefit for you, the user, but honestly a profound strategic statement from MetaMask about the future, about multi-chain interoperability. Our mission today is to dive deep into what this truly signifies for you, the crypto user, for decentralized applications, DAT apps, and for the broader Web3 ecosystem as a whole. We're going to explore why this seemingly technical integration is actually a monumental stride towards a more unified and, frankly, accessible digital future. So, yeah, get ready to connect some crucial dots here.
What's truly transformative here, I think, is the immediate and profound implication for user experience. For years, interacting with different blockchain networks often meant navigating a pretty fragmented landscape. You might have needed to set up multiple wallets, manage different seed phrases, or more complexly, use cross-chain bridges. And let's be honest, those bridges can be intimidating, they can be costly, and sometimes even risky for many users.
Definitely. I've been there.
Right. So this integration, it just bypasses that friction entirely. If you're a MetaMask user, you can now directly, seamlessly, and securely interact with the entire TRON ecosystem. And that includes its burgeoning decentralized finance, or DeFi, applications, its vibrant NFT scene, and crucially, its stablecoin transactions.
Stablecoins are huge on Turon, right?
Yeah.
Especially USDT.
Exactly. When we talk about stablecoins, we're especially referring to USDT, which is a powerhouse on TRON. It facilitates an immense volume of global transactions. So imagine gaining access to all of that right from the familiar interface of your MetaMask wallet without any of those previous technical hurdles. It's not just convenience, it's a fundamental democratizing of access to complex and high-volume crypto activities. It really opens things up.
And the scale involved here, that's got to be a major factor, too.
Oh, absolutely. The scale is where the true strategic brilliance of this move becomes apparent. MetaMask itself boasts an enormous user base. We're looking at over 300 million total accounts created.
300 million? Wow.
Yeah, with approximately 100 million active monthly users. Now, all of these users instantly gain direct, frictionless access to TRON's global network. And TRON is no small player. It possesses an incredibly strong, established presence and user base in high-growth regions like Asia, South America, Africa, and parts of Europe. These are places where crypto adoption and real-world utility are, really surging.
So it's tapping into existing active markets.
Precisely. This isn't merely an integration. It's a powerful expansion of reach for both ecosystems. It unlocks new opportunities for millions of people. And from a strategic perspective, this represents a deliberate and decisive push by MetaMask towards true interoperability at scale. It fundamentally reshapes MetaMask's identity. For many of us, MetaMask was synonymous with Ethereum, right? Or at least Ethereum virtual machine compatible chains. It was the go-to gateway for that specific ecosystem.
Yeah, the default choice for anything EVM.
Exactly. Now, it's rapidly evolving into a true multi-chain gateway, positioning itself as the central hub for your entire Web3 journey. There's a bold statement, not just about where they see the future of DeFi, but about the very architecture of the internet itself.
Yeah, this shift feels like MetaMask is trying to solve a core problem many of us have faced in Web3. I mean, for years, if you wanted to operate on Ethereum or an EVM-compatible chain, like Polygon or Avalanche, MetaMask was your undisputed champion. It just worked. But the Web3 landscape diversified really rapidly. Suddenly you had Solana, a completely different architecture, and now TRON, another unique blockchain, each with its own vibrant communities, developers, applications. The experience for users, myself included, often felt like needing a different passport and maybe even learning a new language for every sort of country you visited in the decentralized world. It got even complicated fast.
That's a good analogy, the passport analogy.
So this integration, it profoundly reinforces MetaMask's transformation. They're moving from that singular focus to a much broader, more inclusive vision. They're not simply supporting other chains as an afterthought. They are actively building out an ambitious platform, one that aims to connect these often disparate blockchain ecosystems, Think of it this way. For a long time, if you wanted to manage different smart devices in your home, your TV, your sound system, your smart lights, you often needed a separate remote control for each, right?
With the drawer full of remotes.
Exactly. That was, in essence, the fragmented Web3 experience for a while. You needed a different wallet, a different browser extension, sometimes even a different technical understanding for each blockchain. It was a barrier. Now, MetaMask is clearly striving to become that universal remote control for Web3. Instead of needing one wallet for Ethereum, another for Solana, and yet another for TRON, they want to be your singular one-stop solution.
And the user benefit there is massive.
It really is. It's about simplicity and convenience, yes, but more deeply, it dramatically breaks down the barriers to entry. Interacting with diverse blockchain networks becomes much easier. You no longer need to learn a new interface or understand complex bridging mechanisms every single time you want to explore a new part of the decentralized web. You just open your MetaMask, and suddenly a whole new world of opportunities across different chains is accessible right there. This ease of use is, in my view, absolutely critical for driving mainstream adoption and making Web3 truly accessible and intuitive for everyone. From, seasoned degens to complete newcomers just dipping their toes in.
And if we connect this to the strategic why behind MetaMask's choice, I mean, TRON isn't an arbitrary addition at all. It's a highly strategic decision rooted in TRON's inherent strengths and its formidable position in the global crypto landscape. TRON isn't just a growing chain, it's an established powerhouse, particularly in markets beyond, say, the traditional Western crypto hubs. Let's look at some of its truly impressive statistics, because these numbers, they really speak volumes about why MetaMask would want to plug directly into this network.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, user accounts. TRON currently boasts over 324 million user accounts.
324 million, that's huge.
It's massive.
Impressive.
To give you a sense of scale, that's a user base rivaling the populations of many countries, highlighting a truly global reach. Then consider its total value locked, or TVL.
Right, the TVL.
It stands at over $26 billion. This figure represents the total value of assets currently staked in TRON's DeFi protocols.
Yeah.
It signals robust liquidity and, frankly, a deep level of trust within its ecosystem.
26 billion. Okay.
And when it comes to raw activity, TRON has processed over 11 billion transactions to date.
11 billion.
11 billion. That's a staggering number, indicative of a highly active and widely utilized network. Not just for speculative trading, mind you, but for real-world utility. And perhaps most impressively, TRON handles more than $22 billion in daily settlement flows.
Daily.
This volume solidifies its position as one of the most active blockchains globally, moving significant amounts of value every single day, often faster and cheaper than traditional financial rails.
So the scale is just undeniable.
Undeniable. And these figures highlight a clear strategic advantage for MetaMask. TRON's native token, TRX, has also delivered a notable 37% year-to-date gain, demonstrating strong market performance and growing investor confidence even before this major news. By integrating TRON, MetaMask is effectively extending its reach deeper into those high-growth regions and broader crypto markets where TRON already has a dominant established presence. We mentioned Asia, South America, Africa, Europe, areas where crypto adoption is surging for practical daily financial use cases.
Right, not just investment.
Exactly. Furthermore, TRON has undeniably carved out a critical niche for itself as a stablecoin hub, particularly with its heavy reliance on USDT. This isn't just about moving value quickly and cheaply. It positions TRON as a vital liquidity artery. Think global remittances, facilitating cross-border trade, even serving as a more accessible and resilient safe haven in volatile crypto markets, especially for those in economies with unstable local currencies.
That's a really important point, the real-world utility.
It is. This integration means MetaMask users can now leverage TRON's robust stablecoin infrastructure directly for real-world financial movements. For business, for family, not just speculative trading, it's about tapping into existing high-volume liquidity flows and providing users with the tools they need for tangible, practical utility. And that ultimately is a key driver for true mass adoption.
Okay, so let's break it down further. What does this all mean for you, the individual user, for developers building decentralized applications, and, well, for the broader Web3 environment we're all watching evolve? The implications for me seem truly far-reaching and signal some important shifts. First and foremost, for individual users like yourself, this translates directly into frictionless access. Let's paint a picture. Imagine you want to explore a new DeFi protocol on Tron that offers compelling yields, right?
Mhm.
Or perhaps you've heard about an exciting NFT collection being minted on the Tron network.
Mm-hmm.
Before this integration, that might have meant a pretty complicated process. You'd likely need to set up a brand new dedicated Tron wallet, then painstakingly navigate the world of cross-chain bridges to get your assets from Ethereum or another chain over to Tron.
Which, as we said, can be a real pain, confusing, costly.
Exactly. Confusing, prone to errors, incredibly costly in terms of gas fees, and sometimes even risky due to potential smart contract vulnerabilities. Now, with MetaMask, all of that just disappears. You gain seamless, direct, and straightforward entry into Tron's vibrant DeFi and NFT ecosystems. This ease of access dramatically lowers the barrier to entry, enables easier participation, and most importantly, provides a much smoother, more intuitive user experience. It's about removing that technical friction that often deters people, even experienced users, from exploring beyond their current comfort zone.
And that frictionless access has knock-on effects, doesn't it? For the dApps themselves.
Absolutely. It has a profound impact on liquidity and a visibility for Tron's native decentralized applications. When more users can easily access a network through a familiar interface like MetaMask, its dApps naturally thrive. Its simple network effects. Developers building on Tron will now see a massive influx of potential new users from MetaMask's enormous existing base, potentially unlocking billions in new capital into these ecosystems. This can significantly boost transaction volumes, increase the TVL within Tron's DeFi protocols, and make Tron native NFTs more accessible and appealing to a wider global audience.
It creates a kind of virtuous cycle.
Exactly, a powerful virtuous cycle. More users lead to more activity, which in turn attracts more developers and innovation, further strengthening the entire ecosystem and making it more robust and diverse. And speaking of strengthening, this move further solidifies Tron's position as a foundational blockchain infrastructure within the broader Web3 landscape. We've already highlighted its critical role as a major stablecoin network, especially with USDT. This direct integration with MetaMask underscores and validates that utility. It affirms Tron's place as a crucial backbone for global financial transactions in the decentralized world. It's not just about a specific app or a single project. It's about reinforcing the underlying layer of the internet's evolving financial system, providing reliable and efficient rails for value transfer on a massive scale.
And the bigger picture, the trend.
Right. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, this integration signals a definitive shift. A powerful, unmistakable signal of a larger, overarching trend permeating the entire Web3 space. We are moving, I think, inexorably toward a more inclusive, globally interoperable environment. For years, the vision of Web3 was often siloed, wasn't it? Different blockchains operating as independent islands, each with its own community and technical stack.
Yeah, very much so.
Now, we are beginning to see the emergence of a truly connected archipelago, where these islands are bridged not just technically, but through unified user interfaces. Imagine one comprehensive wallet ecosystem capable of navigating, interacting with, and managing assets across multiple, distinct, and independent blockchains.
That's the dream, really.
That's the future MetaMask is not just envisioning, but actively building. And Tron is a critical piece of that evolving puzzle. This isn't just a product update. It's a profound statement about the future architecture of Web3 and how we'll all interact with it.
Let's truly unpack the numbers here again just for a moment, because the hard data points unequivocally reinforce just how significant Tron's position is, and why this MetaMask integration is such a pivotal moment for both ecosystems. When we talk about Tron's explosive growth, it's not just qualitative. It's meticulously backed by concrete metrics that demonstrate its global impact.
Right. The proof is in the pudding, so to speak.
Exactly. As we mentioned earlier, Triazon's current user accounts stand at a staggering 324 million. Now picture this. If you were to visualize a time series graph of this growth, you'd see a steep, almost exponential curve. It reflects rapid and widespread adoption, particularly resonating with users in emerging markets. This isn't just organic growth. It's indicative of a network that offers real, tangible utility that appeals to a diverse global audience for everyday transactions.
That 324 million figure is just hard to ignore.
It really is. Then there's the total value locked, TVL, which has soared to over $26 billion. This isn't just a number to be rattled off. It represents deep pools of capital, a testament to the trust and confidence that users and developers have placed within Tron's DeFi ecosystem. It suggests robust, active participation lending, borrowing, staking, other DeFi activities indicating a healthy and liquid network. And the scale of transactions, over 11 billion processed overall to date, truly positions Tron among the most utilized blockchains on the planet. This level of activity points to a network that's not merely holding value, but actively facilitating a massive volume of economic exchange for real-world applications.
So this raises an important question. How do these numbers stack up against other major chains? Maybe ones that have been around longer or get more headlines in certain regions.
That's a great question. While direct apples-to-apples comparisons are always complex, different metrics, different ecosystem focuses TRON's performance metrics undeniably place it in the top tier of blockchain networks globally. It often surpasses many others in terms of user count and transaction volume. This scale implies a formidable foundation for future adoption. When MetaMask, with its own enormous user base, directly connects to a network with this kind of existing activity and user adoption, well, the potential for powerful network effects and accelerated growth for both platforms becomes immense.
A compounding effect.
Exactly. It's a compounding effect where two large, thriving ecosystems connect and collaboratively create something even greater than the sum of their individual parts.
And the market, well, the market certainly noticed this. It's always fascinating to observe how token prices and trading volumes respond to such major announcements. It gives you a real-time pulse of investor confidence, doesn't it?
It does.
Let's look at the TRX token's recent performance. It's had a notable 37% year-to-date gain before this announcement fully registered, which suggests a growing confidence in the TRON ecosystem and its underlying utility even prior to this specific integration. It indicates a solid, fundamental belief in its long-term viability.
That's a strong baseline.
It is, but the immediate market reaction to the MetaMask integration announcement itself was even more telling. We saw a significant 10% rise in TRX trading volume. It jumped from about $1.08 billion to $1.25 billion almost immediately after the news broke.
$1 billion to $1.25 billion. Wow.
Yeah. Now, what does that surge in trading volume signify? It's a clear, unequivocal signal of increased market interest, heightened liquidity, and a strong surge in investor confidence in TRON's ecosystem. When trading volume increases by that much, it means more people are actively engaging with the asset, buying, selling, accumulating because they perceive increased utility, greater accessibility, and a stronger fundamental value proposition stemming from this integration. It's a direct, measurable reflection of market excitement and renewed belief.
Right, the money follows the perceived value.
Precisely. It's also worth noting the price support level. TRX has consistently held its support at approximately $0.35. For those unfamiliar, a support level is a technical analysis term, indicating a price point where a crypto tends to stop falling, often bounces back up, signaling a strong demand zone.
So people are willing to buy at that level.
Exactly. The fact that TRX has consistently held this level, even amid broader market fluctuations, indicates a certain level of underlying stability and continued market confidence. It suggests that there's robust buying interest at that price, and investors are comfortable holding their positions there, which is a very positive sign for its long-term trajectory following such a significant integration. It hints at a resilient market foundation for TRON.
Okay, let's conceptually zoom out a bit and visualize what MetaMask's growing multi-chain network now truly looks like, because it's really changing. Historically, the MetaMask interface was, for all intents and purposes, largely a window into the Ethereum blockchain and its various Layer 2 solutions or EVM-compatible chains.
That was its home turf.
Absolutely. But that map, as we've been discussing, is expanding rapidly, transforming the wallet into something far more comprehensive. We've seen MetaMask steadily adding native support for other major chains beyond Ethereum. Solana, of course, was a significant milestone back in May 2025. That was huge because it brought in a completely different blockchain architecture, one not based on the Ethereum virtual machine.
A totally different beast, technically.
Right. Then there's BNB Smart Chain, which, while EVM compatible, operates as a distinct ecosystem with its own massive user base. And MetaMask has also quietly added support for other notable chains like Say, which is gaining traction in specific niches. It demonstrates a commitment beyond just the absolute largest players.
So it's not just the big three now.
No, the ecosystem is growing. And this new TRON integration significantly expands MetaMask's global footprint, particularly into those regions where TRON already has a dominant established presence. Think of it like a world map, where MetaMask is strategically building out its interconnected network. Previously, it might have had strong nodes in certain areas. Now, by directly plugging into TRON, it's establishing a powerful new node in geographies like Asia, South America, Africa, and parts of Europe, places where TRON's user base is exceptionally strong and often leads in real-world crypto adoption.
Connecting the dots globally.
Exactly. This isn't just about adding another chain for the sake of it. It's about strategically expanding reach into key high-growth crypto markets that might not have been as easily accessible to MetaMask users before. What's truly fascinating here is how this continuous expansion unequivocally positions MetaMask as a central hub in what was once a highly fragmented Web3 landscape. Remember the old days. If you were a serious crypto user, you often needed a separate wallet for every major blockchain you wanted to interact with.
Oh yeah, wallet fatigue was real.
Totally. Now, MetaMask is becoming the universal adapter, allowing users to move between these different, often architecturally incompatible ecosystems with dramatically greater ease. This central hub model simplifies the user journey, lowers the barrier to entry for countless new users, and fundamentally accelerates the overall adoption of Web3 technologies globally. This kind of unified access, for many, could truly be the missing link for bringing billions of new users into the decentralized world by making it as intuitive as traditional internet applications.
And building on past successes seems like a very clear and intentional strategy here for MetaMask. I mean, the TRON integration isn't an isolated event, is it? It feels like a logical and powerful continuation of a very deliberate path MetaMask has been on for some time. We can look back to the prior native support for Solana, which, as we mentioned, was added back in May 2025. That was, in my opinion, an absolutely monumental step for MetaMask, precisely because Solana operates on a completely different non-EVM architecture than Ethereum.
Right, that was the big test case, in a way.
Exactly. It wasn't just adding another chain that was familiar to its existing tech stack. It was a fundamental shift in how MetaMask could interact with and support truly diverse blockchain technologies. The TRON integration now builds directly and powerfully on that proven approach. It demonstrates that MetaMask has not only proven its ability to handle different blockchain paradigms, but has also successfully integrated them into its incredibly user-friendly and familiar interface.
It shows they figured out a repeatable process.
Yes. This isn't a one-off decision or some experimental whim. It's a clear, deliberate, and well-executed strategy. It demonstrates MetaMask's established cross-chain capabilities and its unwavering commitment to providing a truly comprehensive multi-chain experience for its vast user base. This continuity reassures users that MetaMask is serious about its universal remote vision and that they can reasonably expect more of these deep integrations in the future, further streamlining and simplifying their entire Web3 interactions. It's about leveraging existing development, iterating on successful models, and consistently expanding what's possible within a single trusted wallet.
And if we connect this to the broader picture, MetaMask's long-term vision clearly extends far beyond just TRON, Solana, and BNB Smart Chain. This feels like just the overture of what appears to be a much more extensive and ambitious multi-chain expansion strategy. MetaMask is already supporting other emerging chains like Say, and the messaging, combined with their actions, strongly indicates they are actively exploring even wider chain integration. This isn't just about adding popular chains. It's about systematically building an architecture that can seamlessly accommodate the entire spectrum of decentralized networks, regardless of their underlying technical stacks.
So the goal is true universality.
It seems that way. It signals a future where wallet-level interoperability won't be a niche or advanced feature, but the absolute expected norm. Imagine logging into your MetaMask and being able to seamlessly transact on any blockchain you need, almost without even consciously thinking about what specific chain it is.
That would be a game changer for usability.
Absolutely. It would drastically simplify the user experience across the entire Web3 space, abstracting away the underlying complexity, allowing users to focus purely on the applications and assets they want to interact with, rather than being bogged down by the technical infrastructure. It allows for a far more intuitive and less fragmented digital existence.
But that must come with challenges, right? Integrating all these different architectures.
Oh, huge challenges.
Well,
And immense opportunities. The challenges include the sheer technical complexity of supporting vastly different consensus mechanisms, the rules by which each blockchain verifies transactions along with unique transaction models and smart contract languages. There are also critical security considerations. Ensuring that a single point of entry doesn't inadvertently become a single point of failure for users across multiple chains, that's crucial.
a big responsibility.
A massive responsibility. But the opportunities are equally immense, unlocking vast amounts of previously siloed liquidity, fostering unprecedented cross-chain innovation by allowing dApps to interact across networks, and perhaps most crucially, paving the way for true mass adoption by making Web3 as accessible and easy to use as traditional internet applications. This kind of unified, ubiquitous access could truly be the missing link for bringing billions of new users into the decentralized world, moving beyond the early adopter phase.
Now, let's pivot slightly to Tron itself. It has been incredibly busy, and its global momentum is certainly not just about this MetaMask integration, as significant as that is. The network has been making highly strategic corporate and developmental moves that underscore its long-term vision and commitment to continuous growth.
Right, they haven't been sitting still.
Not at all. One major development, which maybe flew a bit under the radar for some, was the rebranding of SRM Entertainment to TRON Inc. back in June 2025. This was far more than just a name change. It was accompanied by a clear strategic shift. The rebranded entity explicitly adopted a TRX-centric treasury strategy. What this means is that TRON Inc. will be actively managing its corporate treasury in TRX, signaling a much deeper long-term commitment to and profound belief in its native token's value and utility.
Putting their money where their mouth is, essentially.
Pretty much. This sort of corporate backing, managing significant capital in its native asset, can provide substantial stability and drive further adoption of the token by demonstrating internal conviction. We also can't overlook the influential role of Justin Sun as an advisor. His consistent presence, his strategic guidance, and his knack for forging key partnerships have been defining factors in Tron's trajectory and its ability to drive innovation and expand its global footprint. His influence has undoubtedly shaped much of Tron's path to where it is today.
He's certainly a key figure in the ecosystem.
Definitely. Now, it's important to mention, in a purely factual and impartial way, that the sources provided indicate contributing factors to Tron's impressive growth have included things like political ties and U.S. regulatory tailwinds. Our goal here is simply to report on the information provided in the source material, illustrating how these elements are noted as having contributed to Tron's market position and substantial growth. We are not endorsing any specific viewpoints or political stances here.
Just reporting the context provided.
Exactly. Just conveying that these factors, as identified in the sources, have played a role in its development and current standing within the broader crypto landscape. It helps provide a fuller context for understanding the network's rapid ascent and global influence alongside the technical and strategic moves. Okay, now it's your turn to deep dive with us. We've laid out the facts, the strategic implications, the fascinating numbers behind MetaMask's monumental integration of Tron. But beyond the technical details and market movements, what does it truly mean for you in your journey in Web3? We want you to really think about this and engage with these possibilities.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts.
First, do you think MetaMask's Tron integration will fundamentally change how you personally used DeFi or stablecoins going forward? Will this newfound frictionless access encourage you to explore new decentralized applications or engage in more stablecoin transactions on Tron now that it's so easily accessible from your familiar wallet?
And let's broaden that thought. Which blockchain are you personally most excited to have integrated into MetaMask? Is it Tron, given its massive user base and critical stablecoin utility? Was it Solana, with its high performance and unique ecosystem? Or perhaps is there something else on the horizon, another emerging chain or an established network that you're eagerly anticipating to be natively supported within MetaMask? What's on your wish list?
On a broader scale, looking at the network effects, do you truly believe Tron adoption will see a significant spike thanks to MetaMask's 300 million plus users getting direct access? Why or why not? What are the specific factors, in your view, that will either accelerate or potentially slow down that adoption despite the seamless integration? Maybe consider things like developer activity, the existing user base, specific use cases. What do you think?
This move also raises a fundamental question about how you prefer to manage your digital assets. Does this integration make you feel more comfortable using a single multi-chain wallet like MetaMask instead of juggling multiple separate applications for different blockchains? Do you prefer the convenience of one unified interface, or do you still see distinct value in specialized single-chain wallets for certain purposes? What are your personal trade-offs there?
Is convenience king? And finally, a really important strategic question for MetaMask itself and really for the future of Web3. Should MetaMask prioritize broad interoperability, continuing to add more and more diverse chains to its ecosystem at a rapid pace? Or do you think it should first deepen support for its existing high-usage chains like Ethereum, Solana, BNB Smart Chain, and now Tron, optimizing their performance, security, and user experience even further before adding more?
Go wide or go deep, essentially.
Exactly. It's a genuine strategic trade-off, and we'd love to hear your perspective on which path you believe is more beneficial for the ecosystem as a whole. We truly encourage you to consider these questions and how this development might impact your own crypto journey. The Web3 space is constantly evolving, constantly building, and your engagement with these shifts helps us all understand where we're collectively headed.
So to briefly recap the core insights of this deep dive, we've witnessed MetaMask making a truly significant strategic shift, moving decisively towards a multi-chain future that aims to unify the fragmented Web3 landscape. This isn't just about adding another token to a list, it's about fundamentally expanding its capabilities to serve a global audience. TRON, as we've explored in detail, holds a truly significant position as a global blockchain, particularly given its vast user base, substantial total value locked, and its critical role as a stablecoin hub, especially for USDT, which serves billions in daily transactions.
The scale is just immense.
It really is. The profound implications of this integration are far-reaching, directly impacting user accessibility, making it dramatically easier for millions to engage with diverse decentralized ecosystems. It's also fundamentally accelerating the broader Web3 environment's march toward true interoperability, breaking down the silos that have characterized much of its early development. What's truly fascinating here, I think, is the emerging vision of a truly interconnected blockchain world, where the boundaries between different networks become increasingly blurred, all accessible from a single, familiar, and increasingly powerful interface. This is a monumental step towards a more unified, user-friendly, and globally accessible decentralized internet.
So here's a final thought to ponder. If MetaMask continues its path to integrate more and more chains, truly building out this universal remote for Web3, what does this ultimately mean for the future of specialized single-chain wallets? Are we truly moving towards a super wallet era where one application like MetaMask aims to rule them all?
The consolidation question.
Exactly. And if so, what are the inherent benefits of such a future? Perhaps unparalleled convenience, broader access, simplified onboarding for billions. But also, what are the potential trade-offs? Are there any risks associated with centralizing too much access or too many user interactions into one dominant platform? It's a fascinating thought to ponder as Web3 matures and continues its inevitable expansion. What does that future look like? If you're liking this deep dive into MetaMask's big leap with Tron and you found our insights valuable, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell.
Yeah, it really helps us out.
It truly does. Your support helps Crypto Robot deliver the latest and most insightful crypto content direct to your ears. When you engage with our content by liking, commenting, and sharing, it gives us a huge boost in the algorithm. It helps increase our visibility and reach more curious minds just like yours who are eager to understand this complex, dynamic space.
We love doing these deep dives.
We are incredibly passionate about bringing you these deep dives, breaking down complex topics into digestible, engaging conversations. And your active engagement helps us continue to create this quality content. We can't wait to see you on the next deep dive.